We've discussed my general distaste for drama channels before with FNGR, but say what you like about him, it's hard to be too critical of someone when putting certain allegations aside just for one moment. They are literally on the front line trying to expose paedophiles. Apart from that, he has largely always been polite to me behind the scenes and treated me with a degree of respect, which is more than can be said for who we have on the cutting table today. Now, I've been called a shitlord in a drama channel before to the point where it has become a running joke and a meme between me and my friends. A lot of this misconception probably comes from the polarised attitude towards drama that exists on the internet. Most individuals will either run for the hills at the first hint of controversy, or they'll lap it up like Keemstar. I occasionally get comments to the effect of, why can't everyone just get along? But those people forget that if there are things myself and FNGR don't see eye to eye on, for instance, then there is a reason for that. Sure, we can pretend the world is full of sunshine and rainbows, but that would be fake, and so I walk the unhappy middle ground of speaking up as and when something needs to be said. Talking of which, remember Vida, the guy who was so quick to get on his high horse about the Toon Critic situation, portraying himself as a warrior fighting corruption, exposing an attempted cover-up of a paedophile? Well, he came to my Toon Critic video shortly afterwards and left the following comment. Now, does that really sound like someone who genuinely cares about the victims, about the supposed moral corruption? See, Vida is a man of very little moral decency. He comes from the dark side of the internet, and his only interest is in getting attention and stirring up as much trouble as possible in the process. But don't take my word for it. Weeks later, when the precious spotlight was no longer on him, Vida showed his true colours by starting a petition to get a number of big names in the community banned from conventions. But Midnight Chimes, you had a problem with how Toon Critic was handled as well. That is true. However, I approached the matter constructively and did not try to turn it into a malicious witch hunt that is not productive for any party involved. Oh, and don't get me started on the legal definition of slander or libel. You know very well that what you did was wrong, and many others agree with me. In fact, I saw a number of people raise their grievances about this at the time, and all the while I kept my silence, an action I now regret. However, when he came into my comments section again and accused me and another viewer of being crybabies, that was the final straw. I screenshotted the comment and ridiculed it on my Twitter, which prompted Vida and a mob of his friends to dogpile me and attempt to drag me onto a live stream. This was never going to happen. Instead, I watched as they gloriously made fools of themselves, showing off their true colours by heckling me, hurling insults at me and screenshotting posts I'd made on MLP forums for some unfathomable reason. And when I got fed up of this, I blocked them. Next day, I found a post on Twitter from Shelly D, worded much more politely, because when all else fails, you can always try to make it look like you're the bigger person, as though I'm the one being unreasonable. So I humoured this request and joined their Discord for a discussion in which they admitted they like to, quote, go fuck with people, attempted to defend harassment, wish I was joking there, and continued to call me a pussy bitch. See, people like Vida and his chums have the hardest time understanding that being a dick is by definition not a positive character trait. Instead, they wear it like it is something to be proud of. I can't prove what was said in the call, but see this here. This is why I like to avoid this part of the community. It's why I don't associate with these individuals, and it's also why I'm making this video, to shine a light on their bullshit. It's all a game to these people, and by blocking them I refuse to play that game. To paraphrase from Doctor Who, I'm not trying to win. I do what I do because it's right, because it's decent, and above all, it's kind. It's just that. To those saying I overreacted or flew off the handle, hopefully it is now clear that this was no spur-of-the-moment action. I did not wake up one morning and think, today I'm going to start a fight on the internet. That would be Vida's approach. Believe it or not, I don't like confrontation, but myself and many others have had a lot of frustrations with Vida for a long time, and since everyone seems too afraid to slap a bitch, I took it as my responsibility. No doubt Vida is planning his response as we speak, but I'm not addressing him now, nor any of his followers who may have come to laugh at the triggered crybaby. I'm addressing the decent people in my audience. If there is one thing I'd like you to take away today, it's that you don't have to take his nonsense. If Vida or any of his associates or anyone who behaves in in a similar way come to heckle you, you don't have to engage with them. You can delete their comments if necessary. Just because someone has one or two good points does not justify rudeness, harassment, or austere criticism, or whatever the hell you want to call it. If they gang up on you on Twitter, then block them. It does not mean you are a crybaby. Trolls like Vida only have power if we allow them to have that power, and together we have the power to take it away. I'm Midnight, and I just lost my train of thought. Oh, and one more thing. How do you like my new poses, Vida? At least they're not fuck ugly like yours.